If you're a dismissive avoidant attachment style, dating a fearful avoidant attachment style, in today's video, we are going to talk about how to communicate your fears to the fearful avoidant. This is also a great video for you if you are a fearful avoidant and you just wanted to understand more about how you can be communicated with in a way that's going to land and how to improve your communication quality in relationships overall. Because honestly, communication, if we can get this right as insecurely attached styles, goes a tremendously long way in helping grow a relationship towards becoming securely attached with two people. Keep in mind, as well as we go throughout the 5 major points we're going to cover here in this video today, that you can also use some of these tools, not just in romantic relationships, but also in family relationships, co-working relationships, to a slightly lesser degree, but still a good bit there, and also in your friendships. If you are the dismissive avoidant, here are 5 things that you can do to really improve the quality of your communication with a fearful avoidant. Number 1, be transparent when something changes. If you are a DA and you decide that you have to cancel a date or plans at the last minute, rather than canceling at the last minute and just saying, hey, I can't make it out tonight, sorry, chat later. That will cause the fearful avoidant to start giving meaning to all the reasons why you may not be able to come out tonight, what's going on. There's a shift in the pattern, and that hypervigilance will come online. And when that hypervigilance is paired with subconscious stories, so old pain points, unresolved wounds from childhood or past experiences, those unresolved past experiences are what get projected onto the situation where there's a lack of transparency. In other words, what you will see here is that a fearful avoidant will go, okay, well, I've been betrayed before when people change the pattern, or I've been abandoned before, or rejected in some way before. So this person must be changing the pattern because they are also going to betray me or reject me or abandon me. And so they're more likely to project these unresolved wounds onto the scenario. And you can, and then fearful avoidance either may activate and want to maintain proximity, or they may deactivate. They may go, okay, fine, I don't want to hang out with you either, and take space. And so what you can actually help set this to rest. Like, of course, this is the fearful avoidance stuff that they should definitely be working on, but as a dismissive avoidant, you can actually heal this and you can help them work on this essentially. Again, it's that person's responsibility to do the healing and the work, but it can just go such a long way to take your partner into consideration, to understand that these are some pain points, and to just say, hey, I'm not able to come out tonight. I'm really not feeling good. I'm super under the weather. Let's do something later next week. I'll miss seeing you, right? Just something where you're like being validated and you're sharing the why behind the change in patterns. Fearful avoidance, the more transparency you have, the more context you have for things, the easier things will go for you. Okay. Can't even say that enough. It's a really big one for FAs. Number 2, when you are a dismissive avoidant, sometimes fearful avoidants can put really big expectations on themselves, especially in relationships. And if they don't feel like there's a sense of appreciation for all the stuff they're trying to do, they can start feeling like taken advantage of or pressured, or like there's too much expectation. So when you do see things that they are doing well or that they're trying really hard to show up for, let them know that you notice those things and you appreciate them. And that will allow them to feel like, okay, you see that I'm trying. Maybe I don't have to try so hard all the time. And it can help them just sort of feel a little more grounded and rested. Number 3, when you want them to work on something, when you have something where, maybe, for example, you're feeling criticized in the relationship, or maybe you feel like they're a little bit hot and cold sometimes. If there's something you want to address it with vulnerability. Fearful avoidants respond exceptionally well to vulnerability. And there will be a night and day difference between saying something like, hey, sometimes you're hot and cold in the relationship and I don't like it, versus saying, hey, sometimes I can be sensitive, even though I may not seem it. I can be sensitive and it can make me feel a little nervous or concerned if one day you're warm and one day you're more cold. And I care about this relationship. And so it affects me a little bit. Can we work on that together? If you communicate in that tone, if you communicate with a little bit of vulnerability there, I know that it's like not a very comfortable thing to do as a DA, but funnily enough, and honestly, beautifully enough, exactly what each individual in this relationship needs to do to heal their attachment style on their own is exactly what they need to do in the relationship. So by you as a DA, like, part of your healing to become secure as a DA is to practice vulnerability. And so if you as a DA can practice that, and then because you are practicing that, as a result of that practicing, you will actually see on the sort of flip side there that you're getting more comfortable in vulnerability is healing for you, but it's also healing for the relationship. So those sort of ideas apply on both sides, right? Exactly what each individual needs to do or what they need to do in the relationship applies to what heals them at the individual level as well, and vice versa. So number 4, we've got our first 3 there. Number 4, validate the fearful avoidance emotions. When you validate a fearful avoidance emotions, when you tell them, I see that you're hurt, I can understand where you're coming from. Or if you don't understand, say, I see that you're hurt. Tell me about where you're coming from. I want to understand better. If you can do that, it goes a tremendously long way with communication. It helps the fearful avoidant feel rooted, feel seen, feel grounded. It's so important and will help them come out of that emotional volatility and into a much more comfortable and safe space. And it will obviously impact communication in a really healthy way as a result. Before I get to number 5, I will say I have an entire course all about the fearful avoidant, dismissive avoidant relationship dynamic in a lot of detail that you can check out fully for free for 7 days using the link in the description box down below. That whole link will give you access to actually all of the personal development school plus an additional discount if you decide you want to stay past that 7 days and sign up. So I'll put that link down below. It's just for a limited time, that added discount, but you can check it out right there. And also, I'm really excited to share with you that we've actually been working on an app for quite some time, and we're going to be launching that as well. So if you want to come in, check out our new app that we have to take all of your PDS courses from and all of the new exciting features and benefits in there, check it out. That will also be included when you click the link down below. And the last big thing is the more that you can be present while communicating with your FA partner, the better. Dismissive avoidance, sometimes when they communicate, it can feel uncomfortable, and sometimes you'll compensate for that uncomfortability or discomfort by becoming restless, maybe looking away, maybe being on your phone at the same time, maybe sort of walking around, doing something else. The more you're able to truly be there and be present, the more the fearful avoidant will feel seen and heard and connected to, and the better the conversation is likely to go. So it's a really powerful tip that will help work the relationship in the right way between each of you. And obviously, it's also a really powerful thing to be working on as a dismissive avoidant on the path to becoming securely attached. Hopefully, this was beneficial for you. If you have more questions about this video, please consider putting them down below. Please upvote this video by hitting the like button if you decide you want to see more content about the FADA relationship. And please consider subscribing if you're enjoying this channel. I would love to have you here as a part of this community. And thank you so, so much for stopping by.